Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new Warhammer news video. Now, as per usual with all these videos, if you like them, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course drop me a comment down below. I love hearing back from you guys. It goes a massive way to helping out the channel too. Now, in this video I want to go through a little bit more news for you. So obviously last night I did put out a video going through good old Warhammer the Old World, and the fact that it's going to be available to pre-order from Saturday the 6th of January, and what you're going to be able to get, how much some of the things are going to be according to some of the leaks, and yeah, where you're going to be able to get them. So with good old Warhammer the Old World, if you are going to be pre-ordering any of it and you want to save a little bit of money, I do have a couple of affiliate links down in the descriptions of all my videos, and I'll put up a couple of posts, one for Wayland Games, one for Element Games. Entirely up to you if you want to use them. There is no pressure from me on using them if you don't want to. They will save you a little bit of money. Also, every order that you make helps support the channel. So if you do place an order, I get a little tiny bit back. Not a huge amount, I can't retire on it, so you know there's not going to be that, but it does help support the channel, because that is money that can go back into the channel later on. Anywho, with this channel, obviously we have been built up mostly on Warhammer Partworks magazines. So over Warhammer Partworks magazines, there was Warhammer Conquest, 40k Conquest. I didn't collect that one. I know that it did very well and people loved it, and it gave us a really good introduction into the 8th edition of Warhammer 40k, and gave you a whole host of Space Marines and a whole host of Death Guard to combat against each other, but yeah, wasn't my cup of tea. Then we had where I come into it. So we had good old Warhammer Age of Sigmar Mortal Realms, which was 2nd edition Age of Sigmar based on the Soul Wars, giving us Stormcast Eternals versus Nighthaunt. Genuinely I loved it. Really good stuff. We had some really interesting stories, we had some really cool characters, really awesome minis, and it was absolutely brilliant. Then we moved on, we got Warhammer 40k Imperium magazine, which gave us Space Marines, Adeptus Sororitas, and good old Adeptus Mechanicus going up against Necrons for good old Warhammer 40k 9th edition. And then we move on to what we currently have at the moment, which is Warhammer Age of Sigmar Stormbringer magazine, giving us more Stormcast Eternals, Sylvaneth, Cadron Overlords going up against the Auric War Clans and the Gloomspite Gits. So the Forces of Destruction, all based on the 3rd edition of Warhammer Age of Sigmar. All of them have been really good. I've collected the ones that I wanted to collect, so I've collected the last 3 magazines. They've been really enjoyable. We've had some awesome minis, we've had some great paint ranges, and really good history, lore and stories. It's been really good fun. But obviously we're over halfway through Stormbringer magazine, so it is now worth asking what's going to come in the future. Will there be a 5th magazine? And according to, and as announced yesterday on fohammer.com, yeah, there will be. So at the moment it's going to go into a trial run. The trial run works as if what Hatchet will do is they'll release the first 4 or 5 issues in selected areas. Once that run is over, they'll sit down and look at how many copies that were sold. They'll work out whether it's worth tweaking, whether it's doing anything with it, and they will make alterations to proposed contents and stuff like that, maybe, if it remains viable. If they decide it's not worth doing, then they will just cancel it, and those will be the only issues ever available, and I can imagine they'll sell for stupid amounts on eBay. But otherwise, you know, it normally goes alright. So they did trials for Imperium, and they did a trial for good old Stormbringer. Both of them were successful, so both of them got released. And I imagine, as Warhammer fans generally tend to be, this one will be successful as well. That's what I imagine. I may be wrong, who knows. Now, this magazine is going to be slightly different though. So this Warhammer magazine is a new Warhammer 40k magazine. Yes, we get minis. We get 0 terrain so far with it, but we get a lot of minis out of it. So the magazine is going to be called Warhammer 40k Combat Patrol. And as you can imagine, it's all based around combat patrols. Instead of having two major armies, so we're not going to be having Tyranids versus Space Marines, we are going to have a combination of units, and you can more pick and choose what you want out of it and get a really good selection. So this is a really good idea if you're unsure of what army you want for 40k. You could always collect this magazine and then build up on an army. So there are 9 factions involved in this magazine as at the time of announcement. So the factions are obviously Space Marines, because they are the poster boys of the 41st millennium. Tyranids, because they are the current big bad in the latest edition. We have Leagues of Votann. We have the Eldari. We have the Astra Militarum. The Gene Stealer Cults. Orcs. Chaos Space Marines, and the World Eaters. So 9 complete combat patrol boxes plus a little bit extra, so they will be chucking in a little bit extra. We already know that there is one new mini, which we'll go into in a bit, but yeah, really good stuff. So 9 complete combat patrols. The way this is going to work is obviously the magazine is going to be increased in price compared to current magazines, although there is a price increase coming for Stormbringer. So it will be, from what they've announced, the first issue should be $2.99, so which will give us a pretty good one, which is pretty good. Chances are what you're going to get is the Captain and Terminator armor and Tyranid Prime maybe as your first minis to kind of get going. Issue 2 at only $6.99, from what they've kind of mentioned being for free Von Ryan Leapers apparently. Issue 3, which will contain 5 Infernus Marines, which is also pretty damn cool. And then issue 4, which will contain 3 paints, Wraithbone, Macragge Blue and Baraknar Burgundy, as well as a Citadel starter brush. And then issue 5 is the exclusive mini, which generally always tends to be the way. Now, there are quite a lot of minis in this kit, so we don't know exactly what Space Marines we're going to get. I imagine it'll be most of the stuff that we got in the latest starter box. So it'll be Terminators, Infernus Marines, a Chaplain on a bike, that type of thing. Yeah, and maybe a couple of others. As well as the exclusive mini, which would be pretty damn cool. If they are going 100% to the combat patrol boxes, we can go through what we're going to get. So Astra Militarum, 28 minis from this kit. So you get Acadian Squad Command Squad, which is 5 minis. You get Acadian Shock Troops, 1 Sentinel and 2 Ordnance Teams, which is pretty nifty. For the Leagues of Votann, 19 minis. You get Utar the Destined, 5 Chthonian Berserks, 3 Hernkin Pioneers, and 10 Halfkin Warriors. The Gene Stealer Cult is a whopping 32 minis. So you get a Magus, a Goliath Rock Grinder, which can also be made into the Rock Truck, 5 Aberrants, 5 Acolyte Hybrids, and then 20 Neophyte Hybrids. Eldari, 19 minis, but you do get a Farseer, a Wraith Lord, 6 Wind Riders, and 10 Guardians, including the heavy weapon platform. Orcs, 25 minis, so you get a Warboss in Mega Armor, 20 Orc Boys, 3 Death Copters, and 1 Death Dread. Tyranids, if they are 100% going with the current Combat Patrol box, we will get 32 minis in total. So you get a Winged type Tyranid Prime, Psychophage, 3 Von Ryan's Leapers, 5 Barb Gaunts, 20 Termagants, and 2 Ripper Swarms. The World Eaters, we will see 31 minis out of these guys. So you get a World Eater Lord on Juggernaut, 10 Jackals, and then 20 Khorne Berserkers. And then there are the Chaos Space Marines, 19 minis, which would contain the Dark Apostle, the 2 Disciples, 1 Hellbrute, 5 Havocs, and then 10 Chaos Marines. So, quite a lot of minis for, you know, a bit of a value. So, the way this works is that you will get everything like this, and you will also get paint. So, on the core image that you can see on screen, there are 32 paints on that image. There are also 3 brushes and a texture spreader. So, we're getting to get, the way it kind of breaks down is quite interesting. So, the cost of a magazine, if you're buying it directly from good old newsagents or anything like that, should work out to around about £789.20 here in the UK. If you subscribe directly through Hashit Partworks, obviously you will pay postage and packaging on that, but you also get an issue for free. Yeah, so kind of swings and roundabouts. However, you will get charged for any ring binders that they send out, and if you don't opt out of the extras, you will get charged for the extras. So be warned on that one. However, the way this breaks down is you are still saving money. You're saving around at least £200 to £300 overall currently. This may change on full release, but you know, should be in that kind of region. So if you break it down, for 9 combat patrol boxes, you are talking £855 at their current pricing on GW's website. For 32 paints at roughly £4.75 per pot, although not all of them are, so it will be slightly higher than this, is £152. A core rules book, because you do generally get the vast majority of a core rules book through the magazine, would be £40, and then your brushes and tools, you're talking around about the £20 region, in all honesty. So that would total you up at over £1,067 as a rough working out. So you are saving money. About £300 saving. Could obviously be more. You will get a couple of exclusive minis. You get a few bits and pieces that you're not going to be able to get. So going back to exclusive minis, the first exclusive mini that you are going to get is a new awesome Infernus Marine Sergeant. Completely new, unreleased mini, exclusive for this collection, and he's a pretty much a bit of a badass, so really, really good stuff there. Generally, one of the most interesting ones, and this generally comes in with issue number 5 with these magazines, so really good stuff there. The other things that you're going to be able to get is if you do subscribe directly through the website and through them, you will get your free items over the course of the run. So you'll get your tool set, so you get plastic glue, mold line remover and clippers. You'll get a free set of brushes, so you get a small layer brush, a large base brush and a small dry brush. You'll get your first ring binder and dividers for free. Every other one of them after that, they charge you, I think it's a tenner for each one. You'll get a heat changing mug, which, you know, not too bad, why not? And you also get another Space Marine for free with it. You get a Primaris Company Champion at the moment, which is pretty nifty. There will also be a premium version as well, so if you do subscribe you can get the premium subscription. It costs you an extra couple of pounds per issue. With this you'll get 4 premium kits overall, so that's enough for 8 of the factions. However, one of them can be utilised in 2 factions, so not too bad. So Premium Kit 1 gives you the Brutalist Dreadnought and Hive Tyrant. Premium Kit 2 is Demon Prince and Howling Banshees. Kit 3 is Killer Cans and Brukir Thunderkin. And Premium Kit 4 is for Rogel Dawn Tank and Brood Coven. So that covers pretty much everything. Not too bad, pretty decent, so why not? So happy days there. But yeah, it's not too bad. So this obviously is going to be a new magazine. I'm not too sure when it will be kind of along. Will I get it? Yeah, probably. Will I keep everything? Probably not. Personally, the way I generally will probably do this is I will paint everything. I will do everything in video, and the idea will be to sell the parts that I don't want. So for instance, I will do Space Marines, I will do the Ultramarines this time, I will do the World Eaters, I will do the Chaos Marines, the Orcs, Genestealer Cults, Astra Militarum and Eldari, and they will probably all go. I will keep the Leagues of Votann for myself because I do have Leagues of Votann already, and I may keep the Tyranids because why not? But otherwise, it's going to be really, really good fun. Obviously, there are other factions within the 41st Millennium that are not mentioned here and will not be part of this collection, including the Adeptus Sororitas, Adeptus Mechanicus, Tau, and a few others. So there are more to it, but this gives you a good taster of each army, of each major army anyway. And it's up to you if you want to utilise them or how you want to go about doing it, but otherwise, pretty good stuff there. Right. That is it from me. Any other news I get about this, I will do a bit more about this so we can have a bit more of a look later on and a bit more of a deep dive into everything. But otherwise, that's it from me. Thank you very, very much for watching, and I will see you sometime soon. Bye-bye now.